Now available in paperback and e-readers, Isis, Samurai Goddess. The goddess next door takes on kung fu killers in this action-packed martial arts Isis series adventure. Get Isis, Samurai Goddess in paperback and e-readers today. When it comes down to the upcoming nuptials between Meghan Markle and the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords of white men, Prince Harry, I'm not expecting a successful marriage. And the reason why I'm not expecting a successful marriage is not because of Prince Harry, the King of Kings and Lord of Lords of white men. It's due to Meghan Markle, the extremely dysfunctional human Afro-American Negro female. Because when it comes down to this Afro-American Negro female, she's a deeply troubled, deeply dysfunctional, and deeply damaged person. And the person who will sabotage this marriage won't be your King of Kings and Lord of Lords. It'll be Meghan Markle, the human Afro-American Negro female. Because when it comes down to this Afro-American Negro female, she is the one who deeply hates herself and deeply hates who she is. And when I was after watching the 2020 report on your Meghan Markle, I can honestly say that because here is a female who was making every effort to escape her blackness and get away from her blackness. And this deep denial of being black is the thing that is going to be the foundation to sabotage this union between the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. Because this deep self-hatred that this female has for herself is going to manifest itself in numerous ways. Now we know that Meghan Markle, like many of these Afro-American Negro females, deifies and worships this white man and sees this white man as a god. And because she is involved with the King of Kings and Lord of Lords of white men, she not only sees him as a god, like most black women see white men as, she sees him as the ultimate god. So she has projected expectations on this god, and these expectations are extremely high. And as these two get married and come together, what's going to happen is she's going to find out that expectations are not going to match reality. And as she finds out that the expectations do not match reality as related to her God, what's going to happen is her picture of God is going to change. Now, all of us who follow the living God, we know that God is not a man, and God just can't lie. However, your Meghan Markle sees Prince Harry as the King of Kings and Lord of Lords and the God that she serves and the ultimate God. However, Prince Harry is just a man. And because he is just a man, he is extremely fallible like the rest of us. And that expectation is going to match the reality, and that reality is going to set in for your Meghan Markle. And once that reality sets in for her, that's when she's going to be extremely disappointed, just like she was disappointed in her previous marriage to that producer who said that he didn't have time for her because of all of his different jobs. And this is what's going to happen to her. She's going to meet this, see this reality, and then see the picture of this white man, and then she's going to see that this white man isn't a god, but he's just another man, and that's when she's going to have to deal with many of the issues she has with herself. Because when it comes down again to this Afro-American Negro female, this Afro-American Negro female hates herself, she hates who she is, and she believes that if she can change herself into a white woman, she can get the attention of God, and that then God will bless her, and then they will have this relationship where she can go to heaven and live in paradise. And with Meghan Markle being with the King of Kings and Lord of Lords of white men, she's expecting to be whisked away by Prince Harry, the King of Kings and Lord of Lords of white men, and taken out of Blackistan in Chicago or Canada where she lives in, all the way to Buckingham Palace. Unfortunately, as I've said in the previous video, Blackistan is coming to Buckingham Palace, and it's Blackistan's dysfunction that's going to lead to the end of this marriage. Because again, when it comes down to this Afro-American Negro female, she hates herself, and it's her self-hatred that makes her her own worst enemy and leads to her destroying any relationship that she has with any man, whether it be one of these Afro American Negroes or the God that she wants to serve. Because she has these expectations of these men that just don't measure up to any standard that any man or any God can meet. Her whole idea of reality is just completely distorted, and her whole idea of reality is so distorted that no man can ever meet her needs because she doesn't know herself. And the reason why she doesn't know herself is because she doesn't like herself. She wants to become a fantasy image, and she doesn't want to accept the reality regarding herself. And because she doesn't want to accept the reality regarding herself that God made her a black woman, this is why every relationship she has with any man is destined to fail. And as I look at this relationship between your Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, I see a relationship that is doomed to end in disaster because this Afro American Negro female is in deep denial about herself as a black woman. She believes in the concept of the rainbow. She believes in the concept of assimilation. She believes in the concept of trying to find acceptance by trying to turn yourself into a glorified white woman instead of accepting the true black person that she is. And when I look at this Prince Harry, I see a man who has deep mommy issues and is beta male tendencies. And his beta male tendencies have led to him seeking out a very deeply troubled female and in hopes of being a surrogate mother to him and having a codependent relationship with him, not an interdependent relationship that a husband and a wife should have. And as this white male, her God, asks her to meet his needs, she's not going to be able to meet those needs because she's expecting him to meet all of her needs in a way that are completely distorted. Because when it comes down to this Afro American Negro female, she sees white men as a god, and she sees that God can bless her in all sorts of ways. However, when she finds out that God is just a man, that's when she winds up becoming disappointed, and that's when she winds up becoming bitter and disillusioned because she sat there and believed that this white man was God, but then she finds out he's just a man, and that's when she winds up really angry and bitter about things, and that's when she starts expressing the same anger she directs at this Afro American Negro at this white man because she wanted this white man to be perfect. She wanted this white man to be infallible. She wanted this white man to meet every one of her physical needs, her financial needs, and her emotional needs in the same way she believes that the living God can do. Unfortunately, God, again, is not a man, and God cannot lie. However, men are just men, and men do lie, and women lie, and the worst lies that your woman tells herself are the lies she tells to herself. And those lies are the ones that she believes to be the truth. And the greatest lie that the Afro American Negro female believes to be the truth is that this white man is a god, this white man is perfect, this white man can do no wrong, and this white man can give her everything that she wants. And the lie that your Meghan Markle has told herself about this Prince Harry, the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords of white men, is that he is the ultimate God. He can meet every one of her needs. He has come in on his white horse and come to take her out of the Chicago Blackistan and then bring her to Buckingham Palace. But again, as I've stated before, Blackistan has come to Buckingham Palace, and Blackistan is there because Blackistan is in the mind of every Afro American Negro female, and because it's in the mind of every Afro American Negro female, this is the fruit that she brings to every part of the world. Blackistan comes to every place because it is a mindset in the Afro American Negro's head, and it's a culture that she teaches and passes on from generation to generation due to her deep seated self hate issues, her low self esteem, her low self worth, her low self value. And these are things that she passes on to her children generation after generation, and it's due to those self-hate issues that every place she goes turns into a Blackistan, even Buckingham Palace. And when it comes down to your Meghan Markle, she is, again, deeply troubled female. If you've had one marriage that failed, that tells us that the future is going to fail. And the greatest failure of all will come with this marriage between the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords and the dysfunctional Afro-American Negro female. And what's going to happen is the whole world now will be exposed and finally understand how deeply troubled and deeply dysfunctional this Afro-American Negro female is, because all of her insecurities, all of her fears, all of her doubts, they're all going to be placed on an international stage for the entire world to see, and for the entire world to finally come to understand the deep psychological problems as related to this Afro-American Negro female and the dysfunctional and damaged way she thinks. If you'd like to see me make more videos like this, you can donate to my Patreon by clicking the link in the description box. And if you want to try some of my men's issues books like the Simp series, you may do so by clicking the link at Amazon.com. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.